Imagine driving down a highway at night in pouring rain. Would you keep your foot on the gas as if it's a sunny afternoon? Of course not, you'd slow down, right? That's the heart of Rule 6 in the CORGS, adjusting your speed to match the conditions around you. This rule is crucial because excessive speed is a leading cause of maritime collisions, resulting in millions in damages, environmental disasters, and even loss of life. In this video, we'll break down Rule 6 in Gen Z language, explore what determines safe speed, and highlight common mistakes students make. Let's dive in and make sure you never underestimate the power of safe speed at sea. Rule 6 is surprisingly short, just 35 words. It says every vessel must always proceed at a safe speed so it can take effective action to avoid collisions and stop within an appropriate distance. But here's the twist, it never tells you an exact speed. There's no magic number for fog or near shore. Instead, you have to constantly evaluate your situation and pick a speed that matches your ability to react. It's about being proactive, not just following a set rule. This flexibility is what makes Rule 6 both challenging and essential for every mariner. Rule 6 applies to every vessel, no exceptions. Whether you're on a supertanker, a fishing boat, a luxury yacht, or even a jet ski, you must comply. Some students mistakenly believe sailboats under sail are exempt, but that's not true. You control your sail area, and if conditions require, you must reduce speed by reefing or taking down sails. The rule is universal. If it floats and moves, it must proceed at a safe speed. This ensures everyone on the water is playing by the same safety standards. Phrase "shall at all times" means there's never a moment when you're off the hook. Whether it's a clear day in open ocean, the middle of the night, dense fog, heavy traffic, or even anchoring maneuvers, you must always assess and adjust your speed. There's no such thing as a safe speed break. This continuous assessment is what keeps you, your crew, and other vessels safe. It's about being vigilant every single moment your vessel is moving. Safe speed isn't a fixed number. It's the speed that lets you take proper and effective action to avoid collisions and stop within a distance that matches the current situation. This means you need enough time to assess, decide, act, and monitor the results. For example, at 20 knots, you might have only 3 minutes to react to a potential collision, but at 10 knots, you have 6 minutes. That extra time can be the difference between a near miss and a disaster. Safe speed is about giving yourself the buffer to make good decisions. Stopping distance is a critical part of safe speed. Different vessels have vastly different stopping abilities. For example, a fully loaded supertanker at 16 knots might need over a kilometer to stop, while a small pleasure craft can stop within a few boat lengths. In open ocean, you might have space for a longer stopping distance, but in a narrow channel or near shore, you need to stop much sooner. Remember, safe speed isn't just about how fast you can stop, it's also about how quickly you can assess and react before you even start stopping. Heart of Rule 6 is considering the prevailing circumstances and conditions. This means everything happening around you right now: visibility, traffic, maneuverability, environmental factors, and more. The rule lists specific factors you must consider, and ignoring any of them can lead to disaster. It's about being aware of your environment and making smart, informed decisions every moment you're underway. Visibility is the first factor in determining safe speed. If you can see for miles, you have more time to react. But in fog, heavy rain, or snow, your reaction window shrinks dramatically. Even if you have radar, visual sighting is still primary. Reduced visibility means you must slow down, period. Real-world accidents have happened because ships relied too much on radar and didn't reduce speed in fog, leading to collisions and loss of life. Traffic density is all about how many other vessels are around you. In open ocean with no traffic, you have more room to maneuver and can go faster. But in busy ports, shipping lanes, or fishing grounds, you need to slow down. High traffic means more complex situations, less room to maneuver, and a higher risk of misunderstanding other vessels' intentions. Think of it like a video game. More enemies on screen means you slow down and focus more. How well your vessel handles stopping and turning is a major factor. Supertankers take miles to stop and have huge turning radii, while jet skis can turn on a dime. Shallow water, strong currents, and wind can all affect maneuverability. If your ship takes 2 miles to stop, you can't go full speed in areas where you might need to stop within 1 mile. Always know your vessel's limitations and adjust speed accordingly. Night bright lights from shore or your own ship can make it hard to see other vessels. Shore lights can blend with navigation lights, and your own deck lights can create halos that blind you to dimmer lights. If background light is making it hard to see, you must slow down. Dim unnecessary lights, use red lighting on the bridge, and rely more on radar. But most importantly, reduce speed to compensate for reduced visibility. Environmental conditions like wind, waves, current, and nearby hazards all affect safe speed. Strong winds can push your vessel off course, heavy seas can make steering difficult, and currents can change your speed over ground. The closer you are to hazards like rocks or reefs, the slower you must go. It's the combination of these factors, not just one, that determines your safe speed. Always consider them together. How deep your ship sits in the water compared to the available depth is critical. The less underkill clearance you have, the slower you must go. High speed in shallow water causes the squat effect, making your ship sit even lower and increasing the risk of grounding. Shallow water also makes your vessel less responsive and increases stopping distance. Always slow down in shallow areas to avoid accidents. If your vessel has operational radar, you must consider additional factors. Radar is a powerful tool, but it has limitations. You need to know its range, resolution, and any blind spots. Radar can't see everything. Small boats, ice, and debris might not show up. Never rely solely on radar. Use it to supplement your visual lookout, and always be aware of its strengths and weaknesses. Radar range scale you use affects what you can see. Short range gives you detail but less warning time, while long range offers early detection but less detail. If you're using short range near shore, you must slow down because you have less time to react. Best practice is to use dual radar if available and regularly switch scales to get both perspectives. Always adjust your speed based on what you can effectively monitor. Heavy rain, snow, and rough seas create clutter on your radar screen, making it hard to distinguish real vessels from noise. Multiple ships using radar can also cause interference. When radar effectiveness drops, you must slow down and rely more on visual lookout. Treat heavy clutter almost like restricted visibility, reduce speed, and stay alert. Radar often misses small vessels, ice, and floating debris. Fiberglass boats, kayaks, and even shipping containers can be invisible to radar, especially in rough seas or bad weather. If you're in an area known for small craft or debris, reduce speed and maintain a sharp visual lookout. Never assume radar will show everything important. When your radar screen is filled with multiple targets, the situation becomes much more complex. Each vessel needs to be assessed for collision risk, and at high speed you have less time to analyze and act. The more complex the radar picture, the slower you should go. This gives you time to process information and make safe decisions. Radar can help you measure visibility more precisely. By comparing what you see visually with what appears on radar, you can determine exactly how far you can see. This helps you make better decisions about safe speed. However, it's not a license to go faster in poor visibility. Use radar to inform your judgment, not override it. Let's apply Rule 6 to real life. On a clear day in open ocean with no traffic, calm seas, and good underkeel clearance, you can proceed at a higher speed, potentially full speed, but you still need to maintain a lookout and be ready to slow down if anything changes. Think of it as cruise control on an empty highway. Conditions are good, but you're still paying attention. Night approaching a port with moderate traffic and bright city lights, you must reduce speed. Background light makes it hard to see navigation lights, and multiple vessels require careful monitoring. Approaching restricted waters means hazards are close. In this scenario, slow down to ensure you can assess all situations and stop or maneuver as needed, maybe 8-10 knots instead of your usual 14-16. Heavy fog, navigating a narrow channel with rocks on both sides and limited underkeel clearance, you must go very slow, probably 5-6 knots or less. Every factor, visibility, maneuverability, proximity to hazards, and radar clutter, demands maximum caution. Sometimes the safest speed is 0. Don't hesitate to stop and wait for conditions to improve if necessary. In open ocean with heavy weather, strong winds, high waves, and moderate traffic, you must reduce speed significantly. The sea state is the main limiting factor. High speed in rough seas can damage the ship and make handling difficult. Reduce speed to ride the waves more comfortably, improve control, and ensure you can avoid collisions even in challenging conditions. Even with excellent visibility and light traffic, if your steering gear is malfunctioning, you must drastically reduce speed, possibly to minimum steerage speed. Maneuverability is the dominant factor here. Post extra lookouts, inform nearby vessels, and consider stopping if repairs are needed. One single factor can override all others when it comes to safe speed. One of the biggest mistakes students make is thinking safe speed is a specific number. It's not. Safe speed is always situation dependent and changes constantly as conditions change. There's no universal answer, only continuous assessment and adjustment. Another common error is assuming radar means you can go faster. Radar is a tool, but it has limitations. Knowing those limitations should make you more cautious, not less. Always supplement radar with visual lookout and never let technology override your judgment. Forgetting about stopping distance is a dangerous oversight. Your ship may take miles to stop and you need to see hazards well before your stopping distance. Always factor in reaction time, assessment time, and stopping distance when determining safe speed. Rule 6 is foundational and connects to many other COLREGS rules. You can't determine safe speed without maintaining proper lookout. Rule 5, assessing risk of collision. Rule 7, or taking action to avoid collision. Rule 8. It's all interconnected. If you're not proceeding at safe speed, you're likely violating multiple rules at once. Exceeding safe speed can have severe consequences: legal liability, criminal charges, environmental damage, massive economic costs, loss of license, and most importantly, loss of life. Courts will examine all Rule 6 factors after a collision, and insurance may not cover damages if speed was inappropriate. The stakes are high. Never take safe speed lightly. Develop a mental checklist for safe speed: visibility, traffic, maneuverability, weather, hazards, depth, and radar picture. When in doubt, slow down, communicate with your team, use technology wisely, and always practice speed reduction. Know your ship's characteristics and be conservative. No schedule is worth a collision. Learn from others' mistakes and make safety your top priority. Rule 6 may sound simple, but it's written in blood. Every factor exists because of past collisions. Technology is advancing, but nothing replaces human judgment. Safe speed is about humility and recognizing that things can go wrong. Always give yourself the buffer to handle the unexpected. Remember the tragedies of the past and let them guide your decisions. Proceed at a safe speed at all times, no exceptions. Lives depend on it, including yours.